Welcome, boys, to another episode of Down the Track. Today's episode is about SRH versus KKR. KKR beating SRH by 10 runs. We have with us the host, the co-host, the owner, the SRH biggest fan, who is down today, Mustafa Ismail. Mustafa, how is it feeling?
I mean, it is depressing to be honest, because it was a game to be won. I think, if I was a bit happy with the way Abdul Samad played, I was really happy with that they fought. But in hindsight, it was a game to be won. I think the game was the two places where the game was lost. One was the power play when SRH was bowling, and then the power play when they were batting. I think the power play decided the game. KKR batted wonderfully well, and then with the ball, I think they bowled brilliantly. They picked up Warner and Saha. But then they came back in the game. The problem, I think, was Manish Pandey, to be very honest with you. 61 of 44, it looks very nice. But he's hitting boundaries after the game is done. And he's the set batsman. No matter what it is, if Abdul Samad can come and hit like 2-3 sixes like that on Pat Cummins, no-look shots, you can hit a few boundaries. What was the difference in the end? 10 runs. That's 2.5 boundaries they fell short. Absolutely. So many singles, so many dot balls. I think that's where we lost the game, Sunrisers. And it is disappointing, but it's good that it wasn't a big margin of victory. At one stage, it looked like they might have been bundled out. And Bairstow's wicket was the key. I think Cummins again showing he's the strike bowler, and he was well supported by Prasidh Krishna and the likes of Chakravarti and Bhaji.
Absolutely. Coming to the toss, firstly, do you think it was a good decision to bowl first?
To be honest, because there was no dew and everything, they were saying that they could have batted first. But I think in their hindsight, yeah, it was a good decision, because if you look at the end, it was chaseable. There was a bit of dew in the end. Cummins couldn't grip the ball in that second last over. So I think it was a good decision. And they actually came back with the ball. We might have been chasing 200, 210. So I think it was a decent target to chase, to be honest, on this pitch. And they showed that. It's just that they couldn't hit the boundaries when it was needed. And in the end, it was just a 10-run margin. So if the power play went better, and if Manish Pandey hit a few boundaries, the chase was on. So I think it was okay. Yeah.
And do you think Samad should have been promoted over Vijay Shankar?
Tough call, because he's a youngster. Like, a lot of people in hindsight, of course, you'll say that he came to sixes, he should have been promoted. But I think he's a really good finisher.
Because of his natural game of power hitting.
Yeah, I think, but the thing is, I've seen Shankar hit sixes and stuff as well, and I think because of experience, they promoted him. But definitely now they know what he's capable of. They will promote him when needed. I think he played the finisher's role, because look at what were we all talking about? SRH's weakness, the middle lower order. But now he's shown he can hit. He was like 14 of 3 balls. He's hitting the likes of Cummins. So I think that will give them a lot of confidence. And they were a bit nervous. I think the way Pandey played also, he was acting like, there's no batting behind him. And that has been the problem, but I don't think it's a big issue now. He's shown that he can do it. He might fail, but at least, there's the likes of Nabi, there's the likes of Abdul Samad, Vijay Shankar there. Vijay Shankar can hit as well. He hit a few boundaries, but then, it wasn't his day. But yeah, I think it was, in hindsight, of course, you can say that he should have been promoted, but I don't think they would have known like he could hit like this.
Absolutely. Moving to the winning team, KKR. So do you think Nitish Rana, firstly talk about Nitish Rana's innings?
Fantastic innings, man. The way he was clean hitting, and that's what KKR needed. I think what they were missing last season is a massive strike rate in the top order, a massive power play, like a 50-60 run power play. They were going run a ball. Again, Shubman Gill was going run a ball, but I think Nitish Rana's contribution was key. And they have the middle order, the likes of Morgan, Russell, to go bang in the end. But this is exactly what they wanted. I think he batted really well. Some clean hits. The way he was striking the ball was wonderful. And he was smart. He didn't try to hit Rashid too much. He rotated, and then he picked the other bowlers. I think that was smart batting.
Yeah, and so as Rahul Tripathi, amazing knock by him.
Brilliant. And he's shown that what he can do in the top of the order. I think he shuffles too much in the batting order for my liking. I think he should be at the top of the order, either opening or one down. And I think they gave him the license, and he showed he's very talented. Again, really good timing of the ball, and picked the boundaries with ease. I think his partnership with Nitish Rana in the end was match winning.
What do you think about picking up Shakib over Sunil Narayan?
Good decision, man. I think Sakib gives solidity. He bowled in the power play today. It's not that easy to hit him. I think with the bat, he'll provide more than Narayan. I think Narayan is just one kind of, what do you call it, one trick pony. He'll just try to hit every single ball, which can be risky. Sakib gives you that buffer in the batting lineup. He can rotate the strike. You can play him one down also if needed. And
Yep.
with the ball, he's shown that he's accurate. I think on these pitches, it's a bit difficult for right-handers to pick the left-arm spinner on the Chennai wickets, and I think it was a really good call. A lot of people were debating about that, but I think it was a good call because I think Narayan is like Chakravarti, the way he bowls his action as well a bit. Sakib gives you that different left-arm angle, and variety is the spice of life, man. So I think it was a good call.
True that. And what do you think about their bowling attack? Having Cummins in there, we have Varun and Harbhajan only bowling 1 or 2 overs, I believe.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
think.
an extra batsman in there, or,
Sorry.
or no? Do you think they can play an extra batsman in there, or having Baji is better to keep a backup?
I think they can play an extra batsman. To be honest with you, he bowled only one. He only bowled one over. But I think on these pitches, because he has the experience in Chennai, he's played for the Super Kings on these pitches. That's why they played him, and he bowled a decent over. They should have given him another over to be fair. But right now, if their batting clicks like this, they can still go with Bachi. But they have so many all-rounder options. Maybe it's just good to keep the extra bowler because you have the likes of Russell and Shakib can give you 4 overs each, but still they can have a bad day. So the likes of Bachi, if he's there, I think he can give you the extra overs. It's always good to have that safe bet while bowling.
Yeah. And who do you think was your player of the day?
So Nitesh Rana, man, I think wonderful striking of the ball. He just took the game away, batted wonderfully. Shout out to Prasidh Krishna as well. 2 wickets picked up. That ball he bowled to Warner was brilliant delivery. But yeah, it has to be Nitesh Rana. Like, what was his score? 80 or 56 balls, 4 6s, 9 4s. He batted brilliantly, and that's exactly what they needed. And he was well supported with Tripathi. And if you look, the middle order actually didn't perform. Russell, Morgan, Karthik finished well, but Morgan and Russell, the big guys, didn't perform. Sorry?
Nabi picking up 2 and 2 could have changed.
Yeah, Nabi picking up, changed the game, and that's why Nabi is crucial. We'll get to that, but I think these two they didn't perform. So Nitesh Rana's contribution in the end, and Dinesh Karthik as well. I think 22 of 9 balls. He's shown that he can finish. So they have batting there. It's just the top order if they can go at a healthy strike rate, which they did today. I still felt they should have got 200 if because Sunrisers should have chased it, and I think. They should have got 200, so they need to, that they need that middle order to click as well, and hopefully they can for their sake. Going forward.
Especially Morgan. I think he's even in the Indian and England series, we saw that he's not giving himself a time. He's coming in crunch situations where he just has to go for it. So do you think he should promote himself up, but today it was okay because Tripathi and Rana played an amazing knock, so sending Russell up was much better.
You're talking about who should have gone promoted?
Morgan. Since Morgan is not giving himself any time.
I think Morgan should play 2 down, but because there's only 5 overs left, Russell, you have to give him 5 overs, not more, not less. 5 overs. He should come in the 15th over ideally, and that's his ideal position. I think 5 overs, and that's it. If you send him too early, he gets a bit confused. Send him later than that, it's still okay, but then you can't maximize this thing. I think last 5 overs for Russell is brilliant. It's very difficult to plan like that, but I think the planning today was good. There was no issues with that. And then, Morgan was going for it. You can't really blame him, so I think it's okay. In the coming games, when he gets more deliveries to face, then, these guys need to perform, and I think they will. They're like quality players.
So overall, KKR looking at a good team for the win?
Yeah, I think they were the better team in the end. They won the game, but both teams will have positives and negatives. For Sunrisers, I think Nabi is a big positive with the ball, and with the bat, we saw Abdul Samad Bairstow looking in really good touch. I think he batted beautifully. You're always going to have that debate, should Williamson play or not, because Williamson will play in any other IPL team franchise right now. He'll be in the starting 11. So that debate will always be there. But what do you do? Well, because Warner is captain. But you never know. If Warner continues to struggle, they might even bring in Williamson as captain. That's a long shot, but that's what it is, because you have so many foreign options. You can't really do much with that. But I think Bairstow and Nabi are positives. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, I think today he got a lot of stick. That was kind of worrying for me. Even in the death overs, middle overs, he got hit. But Rashid Khan, man, look at this. Look at his figures.
I was just coming to him. The way he's bowling, do you think it's like, we always thought that someone or the other would might be reading him well and playing. But we saw Nitish Rana, we saw Rahul Tripathi, we even saw Morgan. They all were struggling. Russell too. So it's like,
Yeah,
how does he manage to do this so well throughout the season?
I think the biggest thing is that he keeps coming up with different deliveries. If you saw one of the wickets he took, he slowed down the pace.
Yes,
When he got caught on long, I forgot who it was. Was it Tripathi or someone? The one who got caught on long off or long on, with the one Manish Pandey took the catch.
I think it
I
was
think,
someone.
yeah. So that wicket, you could
No,
clearly
that was
see
Manish
that.
Pandey. You're right. That was
That was
Manish
Russell.
Pandey.
That was no. It was yeah. Manish Pandey took the catch. Russell got out. The Russell
Yes,
wicket. He slowed
yes.
down the pace. So his variations are key. He keeps the batsman guessing. It's not just he's bowling quick spinners. It's not like that. Of course, very difficult to play that.
Do
But
that.
these quality batsmen can pick that if needed. But he varies his pace, his line and length, his variation as well. The googly, the leg spinner. He has the straighter one as well. And he keeps learning and keeps changing his deliveries. I think that's key. If he keeps bowling at that pace and that length line, he's gonna get hit. And the best thing is he keeps varying his deliveries, and that's why he's so
This,
good, man, and so
this
accurate as well.
Shubman Gill. Oh my God, what a googly that
Yeah,
was.
that
That was
was that was a classic, Rashid Khan. He almost got run out, but it hit his glove. The umpire did give it out. That was a shocking decision. But
yeah.
he's shown that he's the key bowler. But I think I told you this before as well. Bhuvi is key. Like if he bowled a bit better, if his figures were better, we might have been chasing 160, 170. But in the end, having said all that, I think it was Sunrisers still did decent with the ball. It was with the bat where they lost it, and Manish Pandey, I have to blame him, and I'm sorry, but I have to blame him.
True that. What about Besto opening the innings over Saha?
Yeah, that can be an option, but I think Saha can't bat in the middle order. If you're going to go Bairstow, then you have to remove Saha, bring a middle order batsman. Saha is suited to the power play because he'll try to hit over the top. In the middle overs, I don't know if he has the power to clear. Like, I mean, he has beautiful shots, but I think he can pierce the gap better in the power play. In the middle overs, I've seen he hasn't been as effective. He's the most effective at the top. If you saw in the last season, he batted brilliantly. I think that's why they went with that. Ideally, you would want Williamson in the middle and Bairstow to open, but otherwise you can go there. There are some options there. Kedar Jadhav is there, Abhishek Sharma, even Priyam Garg is an option in the middle order if you want Bairstow. But then Bairstow gets you that stability, and he's in the form of his life right now. So I think wherever he bats, he'll be okay.
That's awesome. That's absolutely spot on.
If he hit like 20, 30 extra runs, the game was done. But like unfortunately, he misplaced that shot, man. It was a good shot, but straight to the
Yeah,
fielder.
I think he got carried away going for the flash outside the off stump. So unlucky, but yeah, good catch in the end by Nitish Rana. Okay, before we end, coming up to tomorrow's game, big game, Rajasthan and Punjab, the Arsenal.
The Arsenal of IPL.
So, what do you think? Who's going to win tomorrow?
I think Punjab are favorites going to this game just solely on the fact Archer is not playing. If Archer was playing, it would be for me it would be different because Rajasthan have match winners all around and they still do.
Yeah.
I think Stokes, Butler are key. Morris, how that price tag pressure, can he cope up with that? That would be very interesting. I don't know how he's going to do. But Punjab, if you just look all around, they've made some good additions. I think Jai Richardson is a good bowler. He provides them with the pace. Chris Gale, Rahul, Manish, what's his name? Mayank Agarwal. Big top three, but the player to watch out for is Nicholas Puran. I think there's a lot of power there. They have match winners as well, Punjab, and I think overall they have a more solid team. And one thing I would want to see is how KL Rahul approaches his game because he was batting brilliantly, but his strike rate was low and it was causing them issues last season. Can he up his strike rate along with Agarwal? Can they get off to a quicker start like what Rana did today? That will be crucial. But then you have the universal boss, you have Nicholas Puran, they have a lot of firepower. So it'll be interesting to see. I think the top order, both teams' top order is key. Also, what do you think? Where's Stokes and Butler? Where are they going to bat? They can bat anywhere and they've batted everywhere in the last few years.
True. I have a feeling that they will stick with Stokes opening the innings and Butler coming two down. Maybe it might be the other way, but I still think Stokes will open for our.
Stokes will open, you think?
Yes.
Stokes with Jaiswal. I would actually go Butler and Jaiswal and Stokes one down, but I wouldn't be surprised if this just because of the right hand, left hand. But I believe in the fact that your best player should get the most amount of deliveries. But then it's a risk as well. I think Kumi was talking about it that if you do lose these two wickets, then the game could be dead. And that's where the middle order has to come in for Rajasthan. It'll be interesting to see what the youngsters do as well. Sanju Samson, I think for him, the captaincy as well, how he plays will be key. He's really talented, but right now he has a lot of competition in that Indian team with Surya Kumar and Ishan Kishan and all these lads as well. So he'll want to up his game. He has a lot of competition now, and he has to prove himself. I think he's very talented, but he throws his wicket away a lot. Does the captaincy help him? This can go two ways, man. I also have a prediction that if they start losing games, he might even get sacked as captain. But
Yeah.
that's because it's a results kind of business, and he's going to handle some big personalities. But if his match winners step up, including himself, if Stokes and Butler step up, then Rajasthan will always be in the game.
Absolutely, yeah. I was thinking they might go with Butler as the captain, but picking up Sanju Samson, not a good or bad decision. Maybe we'll come to know throughout the season.
Backing the youngsters, I guess, the young Indians, like how Pant is backed. I think that's what a lot of franchises like to do. And the thing is, Butler and Stokes, they haven't been proven captains, so we don't really know. If there was a proven captain there, like a Morgan or like a Warner, then you can go with that, but or a Williamson. But these guys are not proven captains, so I think it's okay to go with the Indian. But he might get under the pump if they lose a few games early on.
True that. What about Ravi Bishnoi from Punjab? Any thoughts on him?
A great bowler, man. I think he'll be key in the middle overs. I think for me, he was the best youngster last season. I know Padikkal got the emerging player of the award, and he batted really well. But for me, Bishnoi, he was getting big wickets. He got Bairstow Warner out. I'm sure he got like other big batsmen. I can't remember, but he got big wickets.
And SRH batsman getting out.
Yeah, I remember that game in particular, and those are good deliveries. So and he did it consistently that whole season. He went under the radar. It's not difficult, and these pitches he'll enjoy it more. But I don't know where they're playing. They're not playing in Chennai, so how he's going to play?
They're playing in Mumbai. Yeah. I think again it'll be a high scoring game. So it'll be tough for spinners, but maybe it might work out the dew in the second inning. So
if they're playing in Mumbai, then toss is crucial. You need 200 plus if you're batting first, because even if if Rajasthan's batting second, then you have Butler and Stokes. But Stokes can single-handedly win them the game with the dew there. So I think it'll be a big test for the likes of Bishnoi. I think even Rajasthan, I don't know if they're going to play Markande, but spin options were lacking last season. Will Gopal come perform? I don't know. He was poor. He was poor last season, so they'll need to improve that. But apart from that, it'll be difficult. I think on these Mumbai wickets, it'll favor the batsmen. So bowlers will be key, and that's why I think they'll miss Archer. But Punjab have some good bowlers. I think Jai Richardson will give them that pace that Chennai were lacking on that wicket. And Shami, man. Hopefully, he's fully fit and he is ready to go. I heard from I was watching some interview with one of the Punjab coaches and said he's like in the fitness of his life, which is a bit surprising because he got injured with the wrist, but apparently he's looking fit. So if he can be on top of his game, it'll be very important. And I just feel that Rajasthan bowling, man, I don't know, with Morris, can they contain the Punjab
also have Mr. Fazur, who's also an ex-Mumbaiker, and he's played on those pitches, and he was pretty good with that. So
and he's won the championship with Sunrisers.
Absolutely. So,
they have Mr. Fazur.
So it's
he changed his action a bit after that sensational. That he was the main contributor in that. Along with Bhuvi when Sunrisers won, and he was like almost unplayable in the death. He changed his action a bit. He's not as fluent, but if they can get him, if he can bowl overs and get hit for like 7-8 runs and pick up wickets, I think that will be crucial. He might need to play along with Morris. That means only Butler and Stokes will be your foreign players along with Morris and Mustafizur. I think they'll have to do that to improve their bowling. And I don't know how he's going to do, but he's a decent bowler. I mean, he was amazing at one point, but with this change of action, he's not as great. But let's see how it goes. He's going to be bowling to the likes of Gale and these guys, man. So it's going to be a big challenge. Chris Gale, 40. How much is he scoring, man, tomorrow?
First game, difficult, but in Wankhede, he can just hit everywhere out of the park, man. It's a small ground for him. Maybe I go for a 32. Exactly.
32. What a prediction, man. Just a few comments. Ashish was saying Shah Rukh Khan team play today. Shah Rukh Khan himself play tomorrow. I think that's a really good guy to look at. Youngster Shah Rukh Khan. did really well in the domestic circuit. I saw some of his videos on the nets. He can strike it a bit, but can he hit the ground running? That will be key. If he can play that finisher's role, because Punjab are top heavy as well. Everyone talks about Sunrisers being top heavy, but even Punjab are top heavy, and that was an issue when Rahul, Agarwal, Gill, if they don't perform with Puran after the top four, they don't have that firepower. But I think this guy will be key if he can finish off games. Then it'll be really good for Punjab. I think is someone to look out for. And then Abu Bakar Singh, Rashid in his prime or Narayan in his prime? Putter, you can answer that because my answer is biased.
No, my answer will definitely be Rashid. The way Rashid is bowling throughout the season, we saw him in BBL as well. He is in next form of his life. So definitely Rashid. And Narayan not getting a game clearly shows that Rashid is in better form than Narayan.
And, you know what it is, though? You know what it is? And these spinners like Narayan in his prime, he was excellent. He won 2 championships with KKR, I think. At least one he won. And he bowled amazing. But the difference is when you're an off-spinner mystery bowler, you get worked out after a certain point. Even Janta Mendes, if you remember, what's his name? Like all these off spinners, they get hit a bit as they bowl more. Whereas leg spinners is a bit more difficult to pick, and they'll always try to get wickets here and there.
But I think Narayan lost his way because of his change of action. There was a legacy conduct on him, and that's the reason he had to change his action. He couldn't bowl his doosra. So maybe because of that as well. But yes, definitely Rashid is currently in his form of his life. And especially how he bowled today, coming after so long, coming to a pitch like Chennai. Chennai does support spinners, but the way he bowled is amazing.
Yeah, and the biggest confidence that he'll get was he took wickets, because normally they just play him out, and he'll have the same figures without wickets. But this time he took 2 wickets, so that'll give him a lot of confidence. And
wickets, right? Shubman Gill and Russell. And Russell could have killed the score.
Yeah, it would have been like 200 plus. Yeah. But your last thoughts on the game, like just on do you think Manish Pandey lost it? And despite the toss and everything, I get your perspective, but it was still chaseable, right?
It was definitely chaseable, but I always feel, even if I close my eyes, I would pick Kane Williamson any day over.
Yeah.
Even Nabi does give that extra spin. I feel they should work on Samad. Samad can bowl as well. He can rotate his arm. Maybe he can practice more in the nets and get those off spins right, and then try some more variations so that he can bowl and fill in the gap for Nabi and play Kane Williamson.
Yeah, but I know it's a tough one. But to be very honest with you, for me, it has to be Kane Williamson Bairstow swap, because the only problem is the balance. Because you saw even last season when they came in the top 4, it was Holder coming in for Bairstow, and I know it's very difficult to drop Bairstow either. That's the problem, though. That's the problem they have, because you're talking about Samad, but I just feel that Nabi will give you more control, and I don't think Abdul Samad is a leg spinner as well, so he might get hit for runs. Even if you bring in the likes of Abhishek Sharma, maybe you work on him and Samad split the overs. You could do that, but that's going to be an issue. And on these pitches, you need an extra spinner. So I think that's going to be a problem. Maybe get in Kedar Jadhav also. You never know.
Kane Williamson can bowl some medium pace as well.
Yeah, off spin. Yeah,
he can bowl off spin as well. He can bowl medium.
Yeah, for sure. But lastly, your prediction for tomorrow.
For me, I also feel it's Punjab. But if Punjab batting first, then I'll go with RR, because I think Stokes can kill it in Mumbai. He already did it last year against Mumbai, scoring those 95 runs. That was a hell of a chase. So I think if RR is batting first, then Punjab, and if Punjab is batting first, then RR.
Yeah, for sure. I think
the toss will matter.
Sorry?
The toss does matter for me.
Yeah, the toss does matter for sure because of the dew. But yeah, man, really looking forward to it. Your home ground. Let's see how that goes. It should be an exciting game. And thank you for joining me. We'll catch you soon.
Absolutely.
Take care,
all the best to SRH for the future.
Both SRH and Mumbai have lost the first game, but we'll both be back in the finals, hopefully.
Actually,
cheers.